got long legs and short shorts, but she ain't got no teeth. She wears a red bandana on her head and she smiles so sweet. She'll steal your heart, a very first sight should rip apart your soul. She'll torture your mind and waste your time and drag you down the road, 'cause she's a Jezebel, St. Andrew Jezebel, 'cause she's a Jezebel, St. Andrew Jezebel.
Hey y'all, you're listening to episode 44 of the St. Andrews Jezebel podcast. This is Ashley Feller. I'm a third-generation Panama City native, and I'm also a singer-songwriter. This week, I'll be covering weekly happenings for the week of September the 17th through the 19th in historic St. Andrews. And for this week's Salty Local guests, we've got Kelsey and Tylor, who are local musicians, and they're here to talk about a special event they're hosting at the Taproom on September the 20th. This week, our old news segment talks about the opening of the St. Andrews School, which we all know to this day is still there, and it's on the corner of Beck and West 15th Street. Well, I've got a lot to get through. I'm especially excited for you to hear our salty local guests this week. So get your favorite snacks, get cozy, turn on the fan, grab your favorite beer, and enjoy the show. Starting off your Thursday night, join Kelly Hunley of the Healers for a mix of blues and rock at the Little Village from 6 to 9. Be sure to order some tacos from Finn's and enjoy the beautiful view from the Palapa Hut on Lake Ware. Friday night, make your own heart macrame hanger at Gypsy Beach starting at 6 p.m. The cost of the class is $65 per person, and it includes all supplies needed to make the hanger. Call Kathy at 904-451-3071 for more info and to reserve your seat. Saturday morning is the market at St. Andrews starting at 8. They've got wonderful arts, crafts, vendors, food trucks, and there's music brought to you by Floriopolis that starts at 10. And this week, the featured musicians are Tyler and Sandy. Make sure you go out and support them. Do you want to have your art included in Public Eyesore 2021, but you need digital photos to enter? Join the SOAR team at Floriopolis this Saturday from 10 till noon to have digital photos taken of your art. This is a free service, and it's open to all ages and all types of art. SOAR will be taking the digital photos, processing the photos, and then emailing them back to you for your own use, and your work will be part of SOAR 2021. Please note, if your work is under glass, if it's possible for you, remove it from the frame before attending the event. This Saturday would make a great date night, so why not take your sweetheart up to the House of Bourbon to see String Theory starting at 8. They've got a great dance floor. One of my most favorite brunch places in St. Andrews is Alice's when I can get over there. So why not start with the smoked tuna dip and then order a couple of mimosas? Those are $5 a piece and they are delicious. If you're real hungry, they've got a great southern breakfast, which is 2 eggs of any style, choice of Parmesan grits, home fries, or fresh fruit, with smoked bacon or country sausage, grilled toast, or a biscuit for $9. Or how about this? They've got a beef tenderloin Benedict, 2 eggs, béarnaise sauce served with choice of Parmesan grits or home fries. That sounds amazing for $16. I don't even like eggs. I think that sounds pretty good. This Monday, September 20th, is Monday Night Little Fest at the Taproom. This one is hosted by our salty local guests, Kelsey and Tylor. This event is a weekly showcase of local musicians, and this week features the talents of Thomas Hendon, Casey Jordan, John Caesar, Kelsey and Tylor, and myself. I'm really excited that Kelsey and Tylor invited me to be part of this event. Keep listening to find out more about Monday Night Little Fest and how much it means to the community. So on Monday, gather up your friends, come to the Taproom, and enjoy some nice cold beers and local music from 6 to 9. Also, don't forget to check out the new Art in Public Spaces display brought to you by the Floriopolis Artists and Volunteers. The current theme is boats and water, and the display is across from the captain's table. This one features Kelly Dyer, Silas Dyer, Annie Mae, Jim Hayton, J.A. Robinson, Crystal Eggleston, Heather Parker, and more. The display is sponsored by Monia Lobo, Sissy Hunt, Crystal Ford, and Bobby Beard. Thank y'all so much for your support. Floriopolis is open to the public every Wednesday from noon to 5. You can become a Floriopolis volunteer and come spend an afternoon creating a work of art for the next fence exhibit, which I believe the theme is sunsets. This event is free to the public and all supplies are provided. At the end of the exhibit, the artwork is recycled and the canvases are reprimed for the next theme. That's all the community events I have time for this week. Tune in next week for more, and also check out the Keep St. Andrews Salty Facebook page and Instagram. One of the best things about St. Andrews is that you can see live music every day. That's right, there is live music being played somewhere in St. Andrews 7 nights a week. Fortunately, my friend Ken Schaefer creates and publishes a weekly schedule for St. Andrews as well as most of Bay County. Ken's spreadsheet schedule is updated often when there's any changes. Ken also shares individual music events and is walking the walk and talking the talk when it comes to supporting live music. Not only does Ken supply the music schedules, but he attends several music performances a week and takes fantastic photos of the musicians. As a working musician myself, I feel blessed to have Ken and his wife Donna as treasured members of our local musical family. Make sure you like and follow Ken's page, Salty Sounds in St. Andrews, and Oh Boy Music on Facebook, so that you'll always know where all the live music will happen. Thank you so much, Ken, for everything you do. Today we are here with Kelsey and Tyler. So, y'all are hosting Monday Night Little Fest at the Taproom on the 20th. Can y'all tell me a little bit about what Monday Night Little Fest is all about and who's on the lineup for that evening?
Monday Night Little Fest is a great sort of community in its own that's been built over at the Taproom by Kirk Lancaster. He has created this great environment where musicians have kind of stepped up and are starting to host every Monday night. So it's always a different sound. It's, a chance for newer musicians who maybe aren't ready to play a full 3-hour dinner set to come and just debut a little bit of their music or try to start a name for themselves. It's maybe a step above like an open mic. It's a really fun time. I've enjoyed everyone I've been involved in and everyone I've just come and hung out for. It's a really good time.
We've also been lucky enough to get bigger names on the books as well. You're donating your time, but it's for the love of music, and you're surrounded by people who share that same value. So it's a wonderful camaraderie when you're there to just be around people who feel the same way about something that's so special.
Yeah, I actually keep a few photos in my guitar case. Matt, the owner of Taproom, he always comes around and takes a group photo, and he'll go and just print out 12 copies and come and give everyone a physical copy of it, which is really cool. I have probably 6 or 8 of them now that I have, and I keep some around. It's great.
And then as for our lineup, we have a very special guest, Miss Ashley Feller is going to be on the lineup. We also have Thomas Hendon. We have Casey Jordan, who I've only ever heard in other bands, so this will be him solo. And then we also have John Caesar, he is just now starting to play shows out. He just released an EP. So yeah, it'll be fun to have this wonderful group of my friends being able to be the entertainment for the night. So awesome. And I guess we're going to be there too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really excited about that. And again, thank y'all so much for inviting me to take part on this. Thomas Hendon and I played a show with Cody Bennett a couple of years ago. So I'm kind of excited to do another thing with
yeah.
Thomas. And
Yeah.
I haven't met John Caesar yet, but I've heard Casey and he's wonderful. So it's a very strong lineup, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
This is gonna be a
excited.
good
And
night.
it's always whenever whoever's hosting, you're in charge of who you want to play that night. And so you're like, okay, well, do I pick any line of these people that have already played? Do I invite new friends? Who's even available? Who's willing to come spend their Monday night with us instead of sitting at home in front of the TV, in your jammies, which is what I usually am doing. But it's awesome that we have so many cool friends that make such cool music. We get to hang out with our pals and entertain everyone. People come there to hang out with us. Well, that's how I feel. They come to listen to music, but in my head, they're just there to hang out with us.
There's been a few really busy nights with a lot of people there, but it ends up a lot of times where it's just a bunch of musicians hanging out, and it ends up being a lot of fun.
It's a great environment.
Just chatting and drinking some good beers.
Absolutely. Do y'all have any favorite beers at the Taproom right now? Any ones y'all particularly like?
I'm going to let Tyler answer this one because I'm a Bud Light gal, which is what I drank there last night.
I love the Dr. Juice they have on right now from Parrish. That's a great one. New England IPA. I drink IPAs a lot, but they always have something good. I'm always impressed with at least one thing they have on tap there. So there's always something. It's great.
Me too. They've got a wonderful selection. So to sort of elaborate about what we've been talking about, what's y'all's favorite thing about Monday Night Little Fest?
My favorite thing is there's this red chair, and I don't really even know the whole story of this chair, but it's like an old
Kirk bought it
red
one
diner
year.
chair that Kirk just started bringing as like, because he sets up, usually it's just his little Fishman amp, and he would bring this chair and set it up if anyone wanted to sit down. And I don't know what it is about that chair, but it just has become the symbol of Monday Night Little Fest, and I love that chair so much.
It's iconic.
Yeah, it
We've
has.
even
It's
all
become
joked
that. Yeah.
about getting it tattooed on us.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to soon.
You're going to be in the club now, Ashley,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
yeah.
I
you'll
love
get
it.
the invite.
I love it. So both of you play music together and in additional separate projects. How did each of you get into playing music, and what's it like to be playing music as a couple?
I've played music for years, probably 10-ish years. And then I kind of went through what I call my dark ages, my dark period, where I was, I'm going to move on from this. I got, corporate jobs, started doing sales, and slowly felt my soul dying. So I went through some stuff last year like everyone else did, and then ended up back here in Panama City, and it was kind of something that just presented itself to me, and I was like, I could start playing music again. That could be fun, and it's really become a really enjoyable way to make a living. It's something that I've always loved, something that's always been a big part of my life, something I always told myself I would do forever. It's nice to make money and get paid to do it, but it's nice to feel that connection with humans again, especially after, a year of everyone being so isolated. It's great to be able to see someone that you're playing, even if it's a cover song, and they're just having a great time singing along. It feels great to just have that connection again to people.
Well, I started playing music. I dabbled as a child. My dad's a musician, but I never let people hear me. I was always very afraid of just opening up my soul to people or in front of people. And I never planned on playing live. And then I got peer pressured to at a Monday Night Little Fest in December. And I played maybe 30 minutes, maybe even less than that. I was so nervous. And just kind of kept going from there. And then at a certain point of time, I injured my wrist and I needed someone to play guitar for me. And I was like, hey, I know a guitar player. Hang out with him most of the time anyways. Why not let him come play music with me as well? And then we just kind of really haven't stopped.
I love that. I've heard your story a couple times, Kelsey, and I find it to be really inspiring that you have found your way to performing live through positive peer pressure, essentially.
Yeah.
And so, Kelsey, I know that you've only been playing, if I'm getting this right, from what I've observed, I think you've only been playing out around for about a year.
December will be a year, at the end of December.
Yeah, and you've been doing great. I love seeing you play. I love the energy you bring to the stage, and I can see how people connect to you when they hear your voice. How's your experience been so far?
It's been lovely. Taking something that I've already loved doing and brought me so much joy and so much happiness, and being able to connect to people with that is something that I never thought was possible, because I would just, occasionally post something online and people would leave a comment or like it, and it feels very disconnected. But to be able to have someone stand in front of you and express how much music means to them, and you feel the same way and you get to share that with them, is one of the most rewarding things in the world. Not in a listen to me, praise me kind of way, but just we're sharing this moment together in a very special way, and it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, it is, and there's a profound difference, and I think at least I can pick up on it. I can tell when there's a musician I'm just here playing some songs, earning my money for the evening, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to knock anybody at all, but there's a distinct difference when you have someone who really is come have some with me,
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I love about both of y'all. And, and one of the things that I love about the only one time I've been able to make it to Monday Night Little Fest is it felt more like a showcase that encourages not networking in the sense of trying to obtain, gigs or notoriety or anything. But, Monday is a non-traditional gig night.
Oh,
Most of the
absolutely.
time we're not, working that night anyway. So why not take the time when we're not working to get to know each other and support each other
Exactly.
with little pressure as possible.
Yeah, and it's something I've met several musicians that didn't even know were around just because of Monday Night Little Fest. I've seen some. I mean, that's how we met Thomas initially. Is at Monday Night Little Fest. He came in and he played a set, and then he got up with his guitar in his hand. He had no case at the time or anything. He said, "All right, I'm going to work," and just walked out the door with his guitar. And I was like, "Who was that man?
That's Thomas.
Who was that man?"
And from that moment, like, I was like, we have to be friends with
Yeah.
this guy. And then when he agreed to come play at our Little Fest, I was like, oh my God, I feel so honored. He's like, Thomas is a person, it's fine. Because music is so emotional to me, I connect with people on a like much deeper level over their music, whether it's covers that they're, delivering in a different fashion or an original that meant something to them. I don't even know how to put it into words, how it makes me feel.
So if either one of you could play any venue in the world, where would it be? This is just for fun.
Cheesy to say Red Rocks just because I like being out in nature.
No, I don't think so.
Well, then there you go. Colorado, surrounded by giant rocks and fresh air.
That's a good one. I have always really loved, and this maybe is cliche, but I really love the Sydney Opera House. Just the architecture and I don't know, there's something about that building that's just different, and I've always loved it. I think it'd be fantastic to play there. That'd be great.
Hell yeah, either one of those places. Those of you who aren't listening, but I laughed out loud at Kelsey's response because with maybe 2 or 3 exceptions, everyone says Red Rock. But I agree. If someone asked me that question, I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That or like some random field under a big tree. But, that seems less well known or like less impressive than saying Red Rocks.
It is an amazing venue. And so I see y'all in St. Andrews quite a bit. What's something that y'all both love about St. Andrews?
I really love, so especially for me, I was living in Orlando, and then the downtown area there is very walkable. It's a lot of, you go and grab a drink over here and then go grab a drink over here. So it's nice to have an area that feels walkable again, somewhere that I can pop over to the Taproom, have a few beers, walk down, grab some food somewhere. I can move around if I want to a little bit without having to try and get a ride or Uber somewhere. So I love just having a nice, close collection of things to do. That's fun for me.
And because it's so like community rooted, you're going to see someone that you know when you're out and about. So you can go out with the intention of just sitting alone by yourself and then run into a friend that you haven't seen in a while. And you're sat there for 20 minutes just catching up, which is quite fun when it's an unexpected like surprise.
Yeah, it is. I do that sometimes too. I'll come down here. I'm like, wonder what friend I'm going to see today.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely,
And
yeah.
sometimes it's, the usual crowd. And then sometimes it'll be, like you said, someone I haven't seen in 5 years, like, oh, well, the vortex of Panama City brought me back here,
Yeah.
as it seems to do.
Everybody ends up back here at some point.
So I love the music that y'all create together, and I really hope everybody comes out on Monday to see everybody, and especially y'all and anywhere else y'all might be playing. What's something that you both wish the public knew about the life of musicians that they might not already know?
I mean, at least the level that we're on, I don't feel like we're as cool as everyone thinks that musicians are. Like, I still struggle with talking clearly, I guess, in front of people. And like, I'm not this like charismatic, cool person just because I carry a guitar sometimes.
Yeah, we're just people like anyone else. This is just the skill that we choose to try and make our living at. Maybe I think not so much now, but it was something that was usually frowned upon in the past, not the highest of honored positions. We're just trying to make it. We're just doing something we love, trying to figure it out a day at a time like everyone else.
Absolutely. Well, y'all are great at it, and I look forward to watching y'all grow and doing more. On that note, what are y'all's creative intentions for the remainder of September?
We're always working on new stuff, trying to add new songs to our set list to keep an original sound or figure out ways to change different songs and, give them a new spin or something like that. And Kelsey's always writing. I texted her the other morning and she said she had just got done half writing a song. So it's just, we're always doing something, working on a new project, working on a new song.
When for me, whenever I write originals, they're something that is so personal to me. So as I'm writing, I'm reliving these experiences. And some of them, most of my songs are more sad or, slightly triggering for me. So whenever I'm going through that process, it's very emotional. But if I'm taking a song that I already connect to emotionally, whether it be, you know, a upbeat song or slow song, fun song, happy song, or a sad song, like if I'm changing it to fit my style, it's so much fun for me, because then I'm not having to go through this like mental process of breaking down these traumas from the past to write a song. And I can just take something that I already love and then make it into something that I love more, because it is personalized for mine and Tyler's sound that we've come to adapt.
And I love that. I love y'all's renditions of the Shania Twain songs.
Yes.
Y'all do that in such a charming way. I also love your original song, Streetlights.
Oh, thank you.
That's probably my favorite one of yours that I've heard
So
so
good.
far. Yes. Before we go, where are y'all playing around the area, and how could folks find y'all online and beyond?
So on Friday, we're going to be at Millie's downtown. Saturday, we'll be at Wild Root Coffee and Apothecary in Lynn Haven. On the 20th, we're all going to be at Monday Night Little Fest. We have Taproom that Thursday as well. And then we also quite regularly post where we're going to be on our social media accounts. We have an Instagram and a Facebook. It's both under Kelsey Iman Music. It's difficult to spell, but you can also just look at the title of this podcast and figure out how to spell that name.
And it will also be linked in the description. Absolutely. And so for folks who haven't attended Monday Night Little Fest before, it's always on Monday nights. It's at the Taproom. And what time are we starting, Kelsey?
6 to 9.
Wonderful. So Tyler and Kelsey, thank y'all so much for being here and spending time with me, talking about music and creativity and what makes y'all tick and what you enjoy. It really means a lot. And you know, to those who are listening, I hope you enjoy this too. And until then, keep St. Andrews salty. So a couple of weeks ago, I read a story from the St. Andrews Bay News, which was covering a dedication of St. Andrews School. This week, I've got a column that was also published in the St. Andrews Bay News, September 18th, 1923. Hope you enjoy this one. School opens. St. Andrews School opened most auspiciously yesterday forenoon. Reverend James Lapsley leading the devotional exercises. There were about 150 pupils present who were assigned their work, and today the real hard work of the season will begin. The core of teachers are Peyton Yawn, principal, teaching the 9th and 10th grades or junior high school, Ms. B. McClure, teaching 7th and 8th grades, Ms. Bessie Bowen, 5th and 6th, Ms. D. Ennis, 3rd and 4th, Miss E. Watford, 2nd, and Ms. Rose, while Ms. Callie Hens is ill, the 1st grade. It is expected that the total enrollment will reach at least 175 and possibly 200. Everything starts off in good shape, and a successful year's school is promised. Can y'all believe that next week the St. Andrews Jezebel podcast will be celebrating its 1st year anniversary? It is such a joy to be doing this every week. This is one of the best decisions I ever made. I want to thank everybody for your love and support and for tuning in every week. So next week, I'll be reading a special piece from the St. Andrews Bay News that I read on episode 1, and it's called Wake Up. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you'd like to donate to the podcast, you can visit our coffee page, and I'll post the link in the description below. Every little bit helps keep me going, and I really appreciate everyone's generosity. Thank y'all so much. Our theme song was written by me, and it was recorded by Dave Schwartz on the campus of Gulf Coast State College. The show was written by me at my kitchen table and recorded by me in my music room. Till next time, keep St. Andrews salty.
Red lipstick, so thick, and a push-up bra. Tramp stamp, stretch marks, and a lacy thong. 'Cause she's a Jezebel, St. Andrew Jezebel. 'Cause she's a Jezebel.